Dandava pranams, all of you. We are here live one more day, one more beautiful day here in Thailand, Sri Govinda Farm. Our dear most Gurudev and respectful pure Vaishnava Srila Madhusudan Maharaj is in the sky, in the airplane back to Italy, and he's probably arriving there now, or I don't know exactly the time, but anyway, he's probably will not join us for our Zoom today, or he will. I don't know. We don't know the future. Anyway, but we are here to continue, as always, our back to back to basics under his guidance, under his supervision, and we shall keep going with whatever he desires to for us. And this is really great. He's always expressed this desire to, if he's not here, if he's not in the programs, you always should keep going forever and ever. And this is his mood, and we want to keep his mood to always be in a program related to Krishna consciousness. So we're going to start with our mini vandana, our species invocation, then we can start, everyone can share something, we can have a really interactive Zoom today. So, Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Tam Vitam Tam Sajiva Sadvaitam Savadutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Shri Vishakanditam Shah Om Jnana-timirandasya Ranjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militan Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Mahavananyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gora Krishe Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhishta Kripa Sindhubhya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai. So, today, as I said, it's a sad day for us. We are in separation from Madhusudan Maharaj. He stayed here for maybe 2 months, probably almost 2 months. And it's really, I really cannot describe with words how fulfilling, how we feel nourished by his presence. And this is a really big thing. We listen in scriptures, we listen to the Vaishnavas about this, how great personality, a great Vaishnava, it's important in our spiritual life. How can we be really nourished by the association of a pure devotee? And this is kind of happen here with us. We're constantly in his association, and not just him, but other devotees also. Paramananda Prabhu that left us here also. He went back to Japan to work. And another devotees, Shama Priya was here with us also, Pradita. They stay here for the whole festival and the whole extended festival. And this always constant theme about the association of devotees, it's really true, and we can feel this in a practice way. And Srila Madhusudan Maharaj, it's always encouraging us to keep our sadhana, keeping our life, keeping the constant association, not just the Vaishnavas, but with the books, with the teachings of our masters, and always this always Krishna consciousness related themes. And always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. This is our daily and every hour practice, every second practice. Everything's connected with Krishna in the end. Then if we can see all of this with the proper vision, we'll be really nourished, and this is a good thing. And a thing I was thinking about, and maybe Krishna Priya and maybe Bimal, Krishna Prabhu, Istadevika also, they can share something about. I was thinking about since you three of you had a lot of experience in the association of Srila Govinda Maharaj. That is our Gurudev, the Gurudev of all of us. And he's not here, like externally speaking, he's not here in this world. Of course, he's alive. His teachings are alive, and everything related to him, it's pretty alive. But it's alive because of you, because you are the disciples, the amazing disciples of Srila Govinda Maharaj. And you caught the essence. You really, by his association, by his mercy, you got his mood, you got the how what he want from you, what he want from us. And the question and related with that, maybe you can share in this theme, that how can we know what the Guru wants from us, what his internal message, and how can we proceed since he's not externally here with us. I don't know if you understood what I said, but Bimal, I think you're the volunteered or voluntold. I think you can share something about related with this, and if you have something else also to share, it's very good. Yeah.
I mean, Krishna Priya probably has a lot better things to say. I'd love to hear what she says, but I honestly didn't get a lot of time with like personally with Gurudev. Like I was around Gurudev and in the vicinity of Gurudev for quite a bit, like my last trip to India, but um my darshan with Gurudev was a lot of it was just walks. Like, and when he was in Navadvip, we would go out, and in the either afternoon or in the evenings, he would go out for a walk every day, or whenever he felt like going out. And I actually have on my Facebook, I have lots of pictures from all of those times he went out. Probably his last time in Navadvip, but Gurudev, a lot of my own time being next to Gurudev and with Gurudev, I was always constantly thinking about, like, usually feeling really low. When you're in the vicinity of someone so great, then you naturally feel very low. And for me, a lot of it was just trying to trying to do whatever I could, really. And that's what it comes down to, is just doing what Gurudev wants. Like, it's not about what we want, like we can try to serve and try to do these things. And it's a heartfelt thing too, but it's trying, like, what does Gurudev want? And I'm trying to be a disciple of Srila Gurudev. Like, I have a lot of faults, and there's a lot of things I'm not doing and not practicing and not following, but it's like every day we have that opportunity to try to become that disciple that we want to be. Gurudev, he's there, but like, if he's our Gurudev, then we have to be a disciple as well. And like, it takes, it's a lot of practice. And it seems like, when they're not here, like physically present any longer, they're still there, but it's like it becomes more of a challenge. Like, all of the teachings that he's given us, we have to implement those and make them practical in our lives. And and we also know, like, we don't want to cheat Srila Gurudev, but Srila Gurudev, he's just merciful. I mean, I don't know how else to say. I've told lots of stories about, just my own experiences with Srila Gurudev, and he's just merciful. And there's something mystical too. Like, because I mean, I spent a lot of time in Navadvipa when Srila Gurudev was in Calcutta, and a lot of my seva, like I really everyone just wanted to be with Gurudev, but Gurudev wanted everyone to be in Navadvip because the festivals for his Vyasa Puja, and then also for Gaura Purnima and like Nityananda's appearance day, we'd go to Eka Chakra, and I remember one time in Eka Chakra it was really neat. It was back when I think it was Skype. Skype was kind of a new thing, but they actually, I have a picture of it somewhere, but they had Gurudev on a little laptop computer. So Gurudev could see everybody there in Ekachakradam. And, just really sweet. Like everyone wanted to be with Gurudev and we couldn't always be there. But also in service, though, I felt, through prayer and just that desire to want to try to do some kind of service, like service comes in that way too. Like that's how you'll know that if you're sincere, I'm not like saying I'm a sincere person, but like if there was ever a time in my life that I was trying to be sincere, it was probably then. And a lot of these things, like my initiation story, like a lot of crazy things kind of happened that were almost kind of mystical in a sense, but it all those things happen, and then that you get some faith that you don't have to be present right there. It's actually more important than when you can do these things when you're not present, like that's what being a disciple is. And I'm not a good disciple, like, but I'm trying, we're all trying. So, I mean, that's what I could say. Srila Gurudev was, his smile, I mean, everyone says that and it sounds like, I don't want to make it just like it's some sentimental thing, but Gurudev really could just smile at you, and everyone has that experience. They'll tell you, oh, he smiled at me this one day. Like one day he actually did. He smiled at me, and Bhakti Lalita was standing next to me, and she looked at me and she goes, "That was a nice smile." Like because he, for whatever reason, but that's Gurudev's mercy. Like he just would smile at you, and like you felt like everything was okay. That was the beauty of Gurudev. But he could also be very heavy. I remember just sitting next to him, and like because I would walk around with him, and like out he didn't the bumps could affect him and his health and things. So we'd pick up his chair, going over like little bumps and different things. But he could be really sober too. In the last days I was with him, his health he wasn't showing good health and stuff, but he would just be really quiet and he would just look, and I would always wonder what is he thinking about. But one day we were walking on the Govinda Kund, and he was getting pushed in the chair, and usually he just sits and he's kind of quiet and he looks around at everything. And but then one day he started singing. He just goes Jashomati Nandana Brajabaro Nagara, out of nowhere, and then I'm thinking like what is Srila Gurudev seeing, so like little things that we all, everybody has these little moments and memories of Srila Gurudev that we all hold in our heart. And they might seem insignificant to someone else, but like for our own selves, I mean, these things like I think keep us going. And Gurudev, he's still giving his mercy to everybody. And like if you see the videos on YouTube or whatever, hearing from his disciples, it's you get a real sense of Srila Gurudev, but just affectionate and loving. And you know that's about what I could say. But anyway, my Dandavas, Jai Srila Gurudev. You want to say anything or put her
I
on
want
the
to hear
spot?
from Krishna Priya, but
Jai.
I'll share a little something. So
Dhanavad all everyone. I just said sorry about for my English. Maybe it can be broken. And my English can be like broken because I'm not really expert yet, speak fluently in English. About when every time we have to talking about Gurudev, it's so many things to share actually. In like my experience, mostly my time was in Thailand. That time I was also new for the Krishna consciousness, about deeply understanding. And then when Gurudev came to Thailand, somehow I like observation. I like to observe. I like to look around the devotee, something like that. So many, everyone was eager, fighting. I want to do this, this. And then I was thinking, why there's so much fighting? I want it particular, everyone like need this for Gurudev. And then they come to me, oh, can you buy baby cucumber? Can you buy this? So many things. Like, I was like, oh my God, why there's so much like that? It's like, in that time, I was like, it's too much or not, or something, because I was so low. I not really like how much mercy I have that time. It's just like wandering around, like, oh, do this, do that. But somehow, Gurudev show many personality when he come to Thailand. Like for me, at least, like, and most of the time that he's showing is tolerance. Actually, he was so much like, like sometimes he's like, oh, what can I do? What can I do? But he's still like smiling, And I was like, wow, this is very good personality. For me, I already like start like crying downstairs at home that time. It's like, why did this? Why did this? I like cry, but Gurudev like very smoothly how he deal with his devotee, his disciple. Basically, he knew all everyone like personality, like some mystic, like Bimal like mentioned. Really, it is in the air, like his mystic is showing to me is many things is happened when he was in Thailand. A lot of mystic, and I personal myself, I feel that kind of mystic that you cannot explain, but you just need to accept like this, bow down, like yeah, really, you have to surrender. Really powerful of Gurudev, really. I after some year pass, I feel like, oh my God, I really need to pay back his my gratitude, to Gurudev, how much his miracles happen, especially like I talk like my personal, like really miracles. Cannot really explain. I just talked to Paramananda like yesterday before he leave to Japan. We were standing in front of the construction, like new temples coming up. He said, oh, you think if Gurudev here now, what he gonna say? But he asking me, I was like, oh, I think he just like standing with his stick and look up the temple and like, oh, that is my seva for Guru Maharaj. He will say that. He will say that. Definitely he will say that. All the thing in Bangkok when he was here, every time he talking, he always refer to Guru Maharaj. Never once not talking about Guru Maharaj. And I can see like how gratitude, like he pay like his gratitude to Guru Maharaj, like always intense, like so much. And that's why it's captured to me like, wow, how's great personality. You should take as your good example, how you can learn from behalf of Govinda Maharaj, how he gratitude to his Guru Maharaj, like really intense. That's how I slowly learning now. I'm watching his video and Guru Maharaj video. It's so mercy, Bimal, like you said, very mercy, really. You can't even pay back somehow like this lifetime, really. That's why like I try my best to do my best seva, like as much as I can, like this lifetime to pay back gratitude that they give it to us, something like that. Jai Gurudev, Jai.
Jai, Jai, Jai. Wow. So, Istadevika, please
Yay.
share with us something.
Now your turn. Yay.
Yeah.
He both shared so like beautifully. I can picture him at different times, and something that I was thinking about the mysticalness, something that I haven't shared with many people. So I grew up, here in the West, and the idea of a guru was really strange to me when I was first hearing about Gurudev as a teenager. I met the devotees. I had some experience with ISKCON when I was really little, but I met the devotees at the SoCal Save Ashram in middle school. So I was 12, turning 13, and then started going more and more regularly. And Gurudev was coming to visit when I was 17, so I was going to meet him for the first time. And I just couldn't really grasp the idea. And all my friends just said, "You'll just know when you meet him. You'll just know when you meet him," you know? And so I had this dream shortly before he arrived that I was coming out of the temple room and he was in the Prasadam hall. And he was sitting in the Prasadam hall, and just that mystical, like powerful, beautiful, pure energy of, and it was just like, oh my gosh, this is like a great, great Vaishnav, like kind of indescribable. And I needed to get out of the Prasadam hall, but Gurudev was there, and his presence somehow expanded like across the whole Prasadam hall. So it was like he was sitting in a chair and his feet were on another chair and it was going across. And so I was like, I can't like step over him or go around, like, and then I decided, okay, I'm just gonna I'm gonna crawl on the ground, and I'm just gonna crawl underneath so that I like don't disturb him, and I just like am not and then I woke up, but that was like that, like just feeling that greatness in that dream. And I already was like, okay, I can feel this is gonna be, and then meeting him in person is just indescribable, like just pure mercy, pure tolerance, like you were saying. And I feel like you were saying too, individual too, though, like he really, like he knew you, like he would look at you and he knew all of the devotees, and he knew what was in our hearts. And I feel like he gave so much mercy to those of us who were just not knowing what we were doing and totally new to this and just failing left and right, and like just so merciful and sweet and giving so much affection. And then I know some devotees who like were able to do really close service for Gurudev for many years, and they would tell stories about when he was like kind of stern with them, but he knew like that was like he knows you and he knows what you need in like each moment. And just it's all just like pure loving affection and mercy for our benefit. Like, and he never, even if we give up on ourselves, Gurudev doesn't give up on us. And he's always there. And I know he told Kishori Didi, Shileka's daughter, we were out to eat one time, and she was offering to Gurudev, and I kind of asked her like, well, how does that work? Like if it's, you know, cooked in this other kitchen and like a devotee didn't cook it. And she said, Gurudev said, he will always accept everything we offer to him. And so like so just trying to remember that in her, and like even just like every time we're gonna take some food, like Gurudev will accept that even if it's not perfectly appropriately prepared. And that's just so merciful and beautiful. And yeah, anyway, my dandavats to you all. Grateful to be here in your association, and thank you for sharing. Thank you.
I wouldn't be a good husband too if I didn't point out that it's her birthday tomorrow. So.
Oh. Jai, Istadevika ki jai! So happy birthday. It's very nice.
I would say too, if I could really quick, since Madhusudan Maharaj isn't here to chastise me, just hearing Krishna Priya talk about Srila Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, how everything is for Guru Maharaj, and how he is the perfect disciple. Like we can all follow Gurudev's example, but you know, my whole time in Thailand there with Madhusudan Maharaj, it feels the same way. Like when he was telling like what is Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, him and Sudarshan were giving that talk and speaking about that, and all I could think about was just how much Maharaj he's always followed Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj, and he is a perfect example for us in how to become like a good disciple, a perfect disciple too, because Madhusudan Maharaj he's living that every day, everything he does. You know, he doesn't waste time. He's a perfect example for all of us. He doesn't talk bad about anybody. He's always giving respect. You know, he's so tolerant. He's all of those things. And when I think of Srila Gurudev, I've said this before, but I can't think of, when I think of Srila Gurudev, Mahananda, Srila Madhusudan Maharaj, they were always there in some way, form, or another, facilitating everything for Srila Gurudev. He drove Gurudev. I don't know if you've driven in India before. I've never driven there. I don't ever want to, but like just riding around is scary enough. But you know, Madhusudan or Mahananda at the time would drive Srila Gurudev around, and like that's, I mean, you imagine the responsibility there, and just every task that he was given, and caring for all the devotees that came. He was tasked with so many things, but anyway, I just wanted to say Madhusudan Maharaj, he's incredible, and he is a great example for all of us to follow. And since he's not here, I can say these things openly. I also want to say, Ram Sundar Prabhu, can you just smile a little bit? No.
So, what I was going to say, it's exactly like this, what Bimal said now. We are really so fortunate. Rupanuga, Sivarupa, now Gangalila, and then also me, Ram Sundar. We are like the next generation. We didn't have any contact with Srila Govinda Maharaj, but we really, I don't know, who am I to say that I can feel something, but we can at least have some glimpse of what Srila Govinda Maharaj was, what Srila Sridhar Maharaj was. And this is all by the grace of Srila Madhusudan Maharaj. He's been really the carrier of this current, this pure current flowing, really with. He had so many years, so many decades in association of these pure saintly Vaishnavas that doesn't belong here in this world. And he's giving this to us, and in a way that sometimes we can take it for granted, because he's so merciful, he's so friendly with us, and treating us as, even sometimes we can be nonsense, we can really do nonsense things, but he's treating us as we are really really good persons.
Wow.
But I cannot really express with the words how fortunate we are.
Can't smile.
And this is the minimum that I can do. Smiling all the time, trying to express something. And we hear a lot of times that our grandfathers or grandfathers are really more merciful. But Srila Madhusudan Maharaj is our father and is extremely merciful also. And more or less those lines, and just, I don't know, repeating the same thing that Bimal Krishna was saying. I don't know, maybe we can hear something from Ram Sundar. And he's carrying something also, really amazing devotee, and externally maybe not smiling, but internally very smile
Very
and
sweet.
very sweet, that we can hear from him something.
Mamma mia. Dhanavad to everybody. Well, this whole discussion so far is reminding me about what me and Lilamoy Prabhu read last night from Devotional Treasure Chest, and Srila Guru Maharaj was saying this one expression in Bengali, but I can't remember the Bengali right now. But the translation is that every atom of your spiritual body, basically your body, but not this body, obviously your spiritual form, is every atom of that body is hankering to the fullest extent for fulfillment in the corresponding, the Lord, basically. He's the fulfiller of your desire. So every single atom of your body is hankering for fulfillment from every atom in his body, the Lord's body. And actually, this is an expression from Srimati Radharani, but so just to give it some context of, it's very deep. But Srila Guru Maharaj was just quoting it and talking about, he was explaining this expression. And then that's reminding me about how, we're talking so much about Srila Gurudev's devotion to Srila Guru Maharaj. And, there's the parallel there that every single atom of Gurudev is is chanting and hankering and breathing and exhaling Guru Maharaj, and that's all that's consuming his mind. There's nothing else. There's nothing else there. And that also Guru Maharaj talks about like self-forgetfulness. You're so absorbed in the other that you're maintaining your identity, but you're completely forgetful of who you are or what's going on, basically, because you're so absorbed. And like Nityananda Prabhu is also described like this. Every atom of his body is hankering for Mahaprabhu. And every single atom of his body is desiring Mahaprabhu, basically, not just like, oh, it's every single part, basically. But yeah, so that's reminding me. And then obviously Srila Madhusudan Maharaj is like that for Srila Govinda Maharaj and Srila Guru Maharaj, that he's, every part of him is only thinking about them. Also because from our window, we can see the temple, mine and Lilamoy's room. We can see the temple, and then we can see Maharaj always coming. Of course, always on time. That's like it's not even like a astonishing thing at this point. That's just who he is, That's not even a quality. That's just the basis, So but then we can see him walking, and he's, he has his very focused face, and he's walking, and it's like you can see every step is like thinking Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, Gurudev. So that he's just radiating with that sort of thing. And even too, we'll be going on walks, and then he'll be like, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. So, and yeah, this is just, Guru Maharaj also says in that part too, then he starts talking about this one verse from Srila Rupa Goswami, and it starts with Anarpitam Charim Charat, which he was talking about those 3 words, which means it's never, at any point in time, it's never been given before, except for by Mahaprabhu distributing this sort of exclusive devotion. And actually, it's specifically Madhura Rasa, but I'm not going to get into that, obviously. But that's what the verse is about. But my point about that is that these things you hear, and then they make you more and more realize the immense fortune that we've come in contact to. Not only like are you in connection with Krishna consciousness, but the aspect of Krishna consciousness that's never been given before until now. So it makes it all the more refined, and then it also makes it, seem almost natural why Gurudev is, every atom of him is hanging for Guru Maharaj. It's just like while Madhusudan Maharaj was here, he was talking about, he's just describing Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, and he's saying like these people, they're from that plane, obviously. And then so when you come into contact with them, or you've been with them for so long, then there's no more questions to ask, basically. It's just it's do or die, basically, but there's no dying is also not a choice. It's only do, basically. So this is the whole meditation, you could say, because now also Guru Maharaj says in Sri Guruna's Grace that the real test for the disciple is when the Guru departs. So this is a mini departure, obviously. So we have to, reflect deeper on what was told, and also you realize how condensed one or 2 months can be, and how long they can feel when you have so much in front of you too. So
Yeah.
hopefully I brought that around, but
Yeah, this is the power of Guru, the truth about Guru. How can we know about Guru? It's one of the Achincha subjects. We don't know what is Guru, where he come from, and how he appeared. but we can have like a small glimpses about the Guru through the Guru, and it's just really beautiful subject. I think we can hear something from Rupanuga Prabhu. Rupanuga Prabhu has so many experiences in his life. I'm not saying that you're old, Prabhu. I'm just saying that you have a good experience in your life. Now, in your more experienced age, you had a contact with Srila Madhusudan Maharaj, with Krishna consciousness, and maybe you can say something how your life changed and how you're feeling now. What is your purpose of your life now? I know it's a big and deep question, but maybe you can share something related with Guru.
Well, thank you. People are polite, but it is interesting when you mention age for a start, because I am old. I'm 2 years off 80. You know, I've got to face it. But I really came under. Well, in fact, I think we've all had experience with this one earlier on in our lives, and I let it go for a while. It was only when Abhinava started working for me that I got more involved in Krishna consciousness and saw how beautiful they were and in peace and harmony. And I would attend the Dham. But more importantly for me personally is that I am a Maha Mantra fan. That's what I'm all about. I'm always traveling. I'm never near a Dham. And that's why I connect all the time to the Zoom, because it's my connection. But the Maha Mantra has actually saved my life on 2 occasions. And I notice even here, because I'm here in southern Thailand writing, and I a couple of times have woken up feeling a bit, just not focused, a bit fuzzy. And by the time I've done 4 rounds, I am focused and I am alive and I'm woken up and I get to writing. There is just something powerful in the mantra. And even though I don't follow the doctrine and I don't visit many dhams, the mantra itself has changed and improved my life. And now on 2 occasions, which I have shared before, has actually saved my life, has given me solutions. I'll give you a little example. We were stuck in the jungles of Costa Rica. We were traveling down a river on a rubber raft. Oh, sorry, not a rubber raft, rubber tubes. And the tubes burst on the rocks. And and there were waterfalls all the way down. And we told it would be a 2-hour trip, but it was more like an 8-hour trip. And because of the way the rocks were, there was no way that we could get out. We were stuck there, and there's crocodiles in the river and pumas in the jungle, and we looked like staying there overnight. And we got to this impasse where we couldn't go any further because the waterfall below us was just so impenetrable. We couldn't go back because there were so many other waterfalls. I had a sore foot. Everything was wrong. My traveling companion said, "We're stuck." And I went, "Yeah, we are stuck." And we were just trying to work out how we could save ourselves because no one knew we were there. There were no mobile phones. So I just repeated the Maha Mantra, the Maha Mantra, the Maha Mantra. And then I looked up and I could see that the cliff above, even though there'd been rain and all of the earth was soggy, I thought, if I put my hand into the mud of the cliff above and put my foot in, and it was a Maha Mantra that gave me the courage not to look down, because I looked down at one stage and that river that we'd been on was just a thin ribbon instead of being a wide river. And I realized we were in a real, it was a real dangerous situation. My friend didn't even know that I started climbing, and he looked around and he went, "Wow." Anyway, to cut a long story short, we got out of there, and I really think it was the composure that the Maha Mantra gave me, the serenity, the calm, and the purpose. because it did look like impossible to even go up that mountain, but we did. Anyway, that's how I really got involved in Krishna consciousness, because I realized the power of the Maha Mantra. So I repeat it every day, at least 4. Thank you.
And we've been with Rupanuga Prabhu in some occasions, and we can confirm this, how his attachment with the Maha Mantra is powerful, and it's really beautiful. And probably you heard in Madhusudan Maharaj already told the story when we were hiking in the mountains in Italy, and
Yes.
Rupanuga was a bit conservative in his energy, and he stayed a bit behind, and we keep going. But he was there all the time chanting out loud the Maha Mantra for everyone,
Yes.
all the trees, all the living beings, hearing the Maha Mantra and how powerful the Maha Mantra is. And this
And
is really,
thank you. Well, I do have a
yes, please.
question there. That was my question. Here I have a neighbor, and I don't want to wake them up at 5 a.m. when I'm chanting. Is it really important to say the Maha Mantra loud, or can you say it softly, or can you say it just in your own mind? What are the instructions? What did Mahaprabhu say about chanting? I know it said simply chanting, just chant the holy name, and I'm so glad of that. But chanting loud or soft or in your mind, what is better?
Well, the answer is in the Kirtan Prabhu Kohei, and Mahaprabhu says just whether you're chanting loudly, softly, anything, he just said chant all the time, 24/7, and there's no strict rules or this and that. So that's the mercy of the Maha Mantra, that there's no strict regulations. You have to be, you know, doing this certain posture while you're chanting this mantra, or this certain time, or this and that, you know. Whether it's, you know, you're sleeping, eating, resting, walking, you know, all the time, 24/7, actually 25/8, because we're all followers of Srila Madhusudan Maharaj. And recently it started getting up to 26/9, so you know, Mamma Mia. But anyways, but yeah, no, that in your mind, just softly, loudly. I mean, in that circumstance, obviously, if you don't want to disturb someone, because then they may have some ill feeling towards the Maha Mantra because they're being disturbed, you know. So, but also, I mean, like japa generally means silent or quiet, you know, and Hari Nam is also more, you know, chanting. It's louder. So, but anyways, it's not important. Just always chant all the time. So,
Okay.
Okay. Then let's chant. And this is a really, we always constantly saying about this, how merciful, about mercy, mercy, mercy. And this is really the Maha Mantra, is the personification, the embodiment of how merciful Krishna it is with us. Because he gave this, the Maha Mantra, to us, and exactly like this, just chant it. Doesn't matter how, when, with who, just chant it. Just chant it all the time, all the time. This is the personification of the mercy descending through Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, and directed to the Guru Parampara, and our Gurus giving to us this mercy. And the Maha Mantra is alive. It's we have to chant the Maha Mantra and in the mood of service, and that it's not for our enjoyment, not for our satisfaction. Actually, it's the opposite. It's for service. That through the Maha Mantra we can be connected, directed to this great energy, this great Guru mercy. And the proper way to chant it is in the proper mood. The proper mood is in the mood of service. I'm giving myself. I'm giving myself. I'm being available to be used through my body in the service of my Gurudev and through the Vaishnavas. This is the proper mood to chant the Mahamantra. And we are almost done here, but we have a really good and amazing devotee that is Sevarupa Didi. Sevarupa Didi, we're missing you. We missed you here in Thailand. You're making us feel the separation, of course. You are a great inspiration for us. Maybe you can share something in this thing with us. We are looking forward to listen what you have to say. Jai.
Dandavats, dandavats, dandavats to all of you, to Gurudev, Maharaj, and all of you are so super sweet. I'm just always trying to look for little inspirations because I'm not good at speaking at all. Yeah, I just want to say the class is wonderful, went off beautifully with all of your contributions, and everybody speaks from the heart, which is so touching. And my heart and head and nothing connects for me, so I just try and be in the background and look for little things to stick in somewhere. And there was something that I did find and I put it in the chat, but it can be for later for reading, which was, I thought, just something that I think there's no words, nothing can actually explain the topic that we're discussing about, how to serve Gurudev, how to actually, even see Gurudev and what Gurudev means to us. And not what to speak about the separation, and I don't think it's ever separation because I think constantly you are always trying to surrender, from the time, every moment you're just trying to do something to please Gurudev, by I know there's instructions and there's guidance, not really instructions, but a lot of guidance, like very mercifully, softly put. But yeah, I think with me, it's the constant failing to do so. That's the whole thing, like, oh, I didn't get to do this and that, but yet the mercy and the affection that flows, it's so sweet. Like you say, there's nothing to say that I could ever deserve something like this, like how, there's no, it doesn't even make sense, that to be with all these beautiful souls, to be in the light of Srila Gurudev and, the constant giving that Gurudev gives us. There's nothing that he keeps for himself, and it's always that how we can be better, how can he serve us, and it's just feels I mean, yeah, it's you see, there's no words to explain it. It's just, yeah, you feel like so minute, like how insignificant am I, and yet, Gurudev's always giving honor to every single body and wanting to hear what you have to say, what are your thoughts, how can I, how can I, save you basically, how can I, bring you to this amazing doesn't even cut it. It's just like, nothing that on this material in this world that we could ever come close to think that you're allowing us into, like, the world of the gurus, the land of the infinite. So yeah, that's my little small contribution. And love you all so much and just look forward to our connections in these classes. And yes, being together physically is different, but also being here is also, has its it's positive things. So at least I can't make any, or try not to make any serious offenses over Zoom. But yeah, it's wonderful. And this energy, this feeling, this heart connection travels through the ether, through Zoom, in person, everywhere. So yeah, my dandavats and my affection and love to everyone. Jai Gurudev.
Jai, Jai. Very, very sweet.
So, Bimal, these last 2 minutes, you gotta
Yeah.
take it away.
Now's your time.
Yeah.
I knew I had something. No, I'm thinking, I wish I had a better mind because I just don't remember things. But I know that there is a lecture or something that someone may have asked a similar question about chanting, and he's asking about like chanting out loud or whispering, and Guru Maharaj answers. And I think it's Srila Rupa Goswami or Sanatan Goswami. I can't remember for sure, but they do actually classify. They talk about there's different technical names for like chanting out loud, or he talks about chanting where you're moving. Guru Maharaj specifically said chanting, but you're moving the lips, like you're moving your mouth, and then also chanting in our mind. So all of those are fine. Like typically with like Gayatri, then we chant in our mind. It's not something we're chanting out loud, but Harinam or Japa or whatever it is. I mean, if you're by yourself, I mean, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we hear stories of him yelling it from his rooftop. I mean, but I think if you have somebody in your room with you, I mean, chanting in your mind is totally acceptable and fine thing. But also thinking of my mind, this is how my mind works. I have like 50 things bouncing off around, so I skip here to there. So if I don't make any sense, I apologize. But Sevarupa, what you're saying, that's how we all get some idea of what causeless mercy is, because when we all have that feeling how insignificant we are, but yet we're so fortunate to come across a pure devotee, in our lifetime, it's inconceivable, but also like there is no cause to that, and that's just how merciful. How do we explain it? But it does give us some idea of causeless mercy and what that actually is. Because there's no cause. There's like I'm not deserving. I'll say it for myself, but yet somehow we've come in contact with these great souls, and now we have an opportunity to serve them. And I also just wanted to say, Lilamoy Prabhu, you did a fantastic job today with the class and guiding and keeping it going. And I appreciate it. This was really sweet, really, really nice to hear from everybody. And great job. I'm sure Madhusudan Maharaj would be proud of you. And I do want to say too, I know that in my heart, Gurudev would be so happy with your service. Like you, all such selfless servitors there, and just my time in Thailand with you all, just how much everyone's giving of themselves. Like Gurudev liked the doers. He always liked those devotees that were behind the scenes, that were keeping things going and doing all of those things. Like Gurudev really appreciated that seva, and that's the devotees that he really liked. And that's all the devotees that surrounded him were those devotees who were, willing to give whatever they had. And I see that, and I can't help but feel, I can't speak for Gurudev, but I can't help but feel that he would be very like happy with your service. So anyway, my dandavats to you all. Super happy. It was a beautiful class, and good job, Lilamoy Prabhu, and nice contribution. Now I understand you weren't frowning, Ram Sundar Prabhu. You were just concentrating and meditating. So now I know that face. I'll leave you alone next time. My dandavats.
Now you know.
So, all glories to you. You are the main sharers here, and very beautiful. This is a really perfect example how we should proceed in our life. We just give our hands together and go straight forward to the center. And the center, it's our Gurudev and our masters and Vaishnavas. And together we can do everything, but alone, nothing. And I'm sure the only person, Gangalila, I think you're the only person that didn't share anything about the Gurudev. If you want to share something with us,
I
we would
never met
appreciate it.
Gurudev, so I'm also the generation I missed out on the physicalness. But yeah, Dandavats and Hare Krishna to Istadevika on her birthday, and I hope to be in Thailand next year, right? And I can only raise my arms. What do I know? What do I have? And I raise my arms to you, and also in jubilation and in despair equally. What to do? But chant Hare Krishna. Yes, I chant yesterday, for example. My example is like how I desperately need uh spiritual strength in the mundane world. Like my car's, I had a long distance drive, and my car's engine check engine light is on, and there were like weird sounds, and then my whole system goes in fright and flight, and oh my god, what did he, like, and I'm stranded, blah. And then I was like, no, I can't do this. I was telling myself, like, this is really in Krishna's hands. It's like, stop thinking small, stop thinking it's a car thing, stop going into the small fear stuff, like, oh, poor little me, what am I going to do? And I just chanted so loud for like an hour and 15 minutes nonstop. My throat was hurting, but the loudest I could do, I just needed to do that. Like, how is that I just drown out my fears? And it was amazing. It was amazing. Actually, when I opened up the car drove me home, obviously. I was just like, no biggie. I mean, it did it. It could have just died right at night somewhere in the middle of nowhere. And this loudness, everything was just like, vibing and buzzing. And when I opened the door, I was even thinking, like, I think I trapped some kind of energy in that car. I never had that in my life. Like, I sang out from the top of my lungs the Maha Mantra, full blown focus, because I had an issue, like I could have not stopped it. So I don't know if that makes sense, but this is real life from last night, from my life. And the car drove me home, and I felt the potency was so palpable, and it's magical, and I love that. Magic, pure magic.
Jai, all glories to the holy name. Jai. So I think this is our Zoom for today. We made it.
We make it.
Jai. So the glories, all the glories to our wonderful masters. Jai Srila Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Sunda Govinda Devi Dasi Maharaj ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Rakakshada Devi Dasi Maharaj ki Jai. Srila Panuga Gurvaga ki Jai. Jai, all assembled devotees ki Jai. Jai, Harinama Mahamantra ki Jai. Jai, Gurudev ki Jai. Jai, Harinam Sankirtana ki Jai. Itagora Permanande
Haribo.
Go Javan
Chakapatrubhishta Kripa Sindhu Vevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Thank you, everyone. Very beautiful Zoom. And next time we'll be here with Srila Madhusudan Maharaj.
Jai Lilamoy Prabhu ki jai. Jai Ram Sundar Prabhu ki jai. Jai Krishna Priya ki jai. Jai Bimal Krishna Istadevika ki jai. Danaki ki jai. Ganga Leela ki jai. Jai Gurudev ki jai.
And then, good to be here with you. We always together. We never forget you. One day we'll be together. Always. Jai. All glories to Gurudev. Jai, jai, jai. See you next time. Haribo, haribo.